Hello and welcome back to another video. As you can see, I have a microphone, so hopefully you can hear me better in this video. Again, thank you for all your support. Thank you for watching my first 3 videos. In this video, we're going to be discussing the myth that Jehovah's Witnesses have the best life ever, and this is not the case at all. We're going to be going over 5 reasons why my life is better now than the almost 3 years since I've left. So where do we begin? Well, if you watch the introduction of this video, you can clearly see I'm not the same person I was when I was a Jehovah's Witness. Yes, growing up, I had a problem with my weight. At the time I was about 5 years old. I never got into drugs, drinking, premarital sex. I really never got in trouble. I never really had a vice or a weakness. But if there was a box of chocolate on the kitchen table compared to a 6-pack of beer, I was going for the chocolate. I always had trouble battling my weight. And I thought it was just, my imperfection. I prayed to Jehovah countless times. And again, I would go up and down in my weight. When I was about 15, I was over 200 pounds. And then I was about 220 at 16. And I'm only 5'7". I'm not tall at all. That's way overweight. So at 16, I decided, I'm going to start working out and get in better shape. And I lost about 20 pounds. I got really good and fit at 16. And I actually had an elder tell me, not my dad, hey, you're spending too much time playing tennis and working out. You should be focusing on your ministry. Trying to say bodily training is only beneficial for so much. So I really listened to him, and I got fat again, fatter. When I got married, when I graduated, I was about 220. I was about 220 when I married at 20 years old. And again, you get married, I was pioneering, you do a lot of breaks, a lot of snacks, and I got heavy again. I always battle with my weight. Well, in 2005, when I was 28, I was 275 pounds. I was wearing a 42 to 44 pair of pants, a 50 jacket, and again, I'm 5'7". So my wife and I decided we need to start working out and eating better. So I lost 75 pounds in 6 months. I got to 200 pounds again. Never could break that 200. I was about 201, 202, 200 in 2006. And slowly I stopped, working out, eating good again. I kind of backslid into my old habits. And by the time I left in 2016, I was 265 again. So work had a wellness checkup, and anybody could go there and get their blood work done. And it was April of 2016, and I was just turned 39, and I decided, I got to do something with my life here. I'm not going to get another body. I'm not going to live forever in paradise. So I had my, my cholesterol, my blood pressure, all that read, and I was borderline diabetic. My cholesterol was over 400, which is more than twice the normal limit. So I joined the gym, and I started working out, and eating better. And I had plenty of time because I was going out in service 3 or 4 days a week. I was going to 4 meetings a week, 2 Nepali and 2 English. So now I have all the time in the world to go to the gym every day. So what's happened? So I'm right now, I'm 215 as of this morning. So I've lost exactly 50 pounds in 2.5 years, a little over 2.5 years since I left, April of 2016. So that's the first thing. My cholesterol is now around 206. Last time I had it checked. I will get it checked again in April. So my cholesterol is down in half. I'm no longer pre-diabetic, and my blood pressure now is about 116 over 68 on average. It was about 130 over 80. So my blood pressure is down, cholesterol is down, my pulse is down, everything is so much better now. That is the first reason. Now, most JW apologists will say, well, you just had a weakness and there's plenty of time to work out or exercise or eat better. And Watchtower would run articles about losing weight and eating better. But really, the majority of witnesses in the back of their mind think, well, I'll just worry about that in the paradise. Who cares about this body? So they're throwing their health away. They're throwing their lives away. And that is the first reason why my life is better now than I left than before. The second reason why my life is better is my children. My dad was an elder my entire life growing up. And even as a kid, I was always scared of getting into trouble, letting my dad down, and having his privileges removed. 2 of my uncles that lived close to me were both elders. They both worked in RBC and the convention overseer. So people knew my family's name. And if I would have gotten in trouble, it would bring reproach upon my father and upon my uncles. So again, I really never got in trouble the whole way through high school. I got a little bit of trouble after high school, but that'll be a video for another day. So I was pretty upset, I was pretty adamant about not getting in trouble, not removing privileges from my dad. And then in 2001, when my daughter was born, I was serving as a ministerial servant. And I'm like a far-thinking kind of person. I always look to the distance. And I was already even thinking back in 2001, 2002, what if my daughter gets in trouble? What if they get in wrongdoing? I would get my privileges removed. And that was something that I was always worried about, and I was always scared about. Later on, I became an elder. I remember during our family studies, I was explaining to the kids, I'll still love you if you get in trouble at school or whatever, but I would have to step down as an elder. So now, why is my life better now that I'm no longer Jehovah's Witnesses? Because now I do care if my kids would get arrested or break laws. That does still bother me, and I don't want that to happen. But in the majority of things, all these things that kids get in trouble with are just teenage kids. If they drank a beer, if they smoked a cigarette, if they did something, watched an R-rated movie, played a mature-rated game, these are just mundane things that teenagers do. It's not the end of the world. I don't have that lingering in my back of my mind anymore that my kids are going to mess up my life, because I don't care what they do, who they are as a person, as long as they are happy, don't hurt anybody, and make this world a little better place than they found it. Also, if my kids would ever tell me, you know what, Dad, I'm gay, it would not bother me in one bit. I would love them no matter what kind of person they were. No longer do they have to fit in the mold that I want them to be. They can be the person who they truly are. They can do whatever they want in life, whatever makes them happy. They will not be limited by their education, by going to college. They can do whatever they want, and I will be there supporting them 100% of the way. And even if my kids do break the law, and even if they do get in trouble and are in jail, I will not shun them. I will be there. From the moment they're born until the moment I die, I will always be with both of my kids. So what's the third thing? That I'm a better person now that I'm no longer a Jehovah's Witness. Well, the third thing is fear, guilt, and oppression. Now, I'm kind of rolling that up into one thing. As a witness, I never felt I was doing enough. Even if I was auxiliary pioneering, working in a foreign language field, giving talks as an elder, doing shepherding calls, I always felt that I could do more. And I no longer have that guilt, that fear, that oppression that was always upon me as a Jehovah's Witness. I would think, I commented 6 times, I could have commented 8. I didn't come over that conversation stopper, I failed, I should have helped that person at the door. I didn't get my territory done in 3 months. I could have auxiliary pioneered in March. I had time off work, but I'm just too lazy. I would always feel like I didn't do enough. And now I can enjoy life. I can actually relax. And I was never really able to relax. I would feel bad if on a Saturday morning I would oversleep and miss service and then play on my phone or watch TV. That made me upset. Now I can actually have fun. I can avoid vacation. Next year at work, I will get 5 weeks of vacation, and for the first time, not one day has to be dedicated to an assembly, convention, circuit overseer's visit, unassigned territory, or a special convention. All of it can be for my family's enjoyment. So that's another great avenue of my life is better. Now, my next area is our marriage. Now, my wife was a great Jehovah's Witness. She pioneered for 9 years, took a 5-year break when our kids were little, and then pioneered for another 9 years before she woke up. But again, she had that same thing, that she was never doing enough for Jehovah. She always wanted to do more. She always felt bad about herself. And then when I would mess up, if I would do a talk, I forget about a talk and rush through it, or if I would go give a public talk out, and I'm a mumbler, I'm a stumbler, I talk faster than I should, and there'd be times where I just mess up on the stage or just embarrass her, and that would bring tension in our marriage. That I wasn't living up to that ideal elder, that ideal ministerial servant, that ideal husband. She worked part-time and pioneered, but yet she felt like she should do more. And we would watch the Jehovah's Witness videos or see the articles, and they would have a brand new nice car and nice clothes, but yet they're both pioneering. That's physically not possible unless you're born rich or something. So she always would put pressure upon me not to work, and also, but yet to give more to the branch, give more to the Kingdom Hall, do more. And that put a lot of strain on our relationship. The past 2.5 years have been the best in our entire marriage life. We are so much happier, at peace. We really, really enjoy life. Life has been great. And now for the last thing, why my life is better now that I'm no longer a Jehovah's Witness, again, is wrapped into that not doing enough, and that is my sleep. For 21 years, I worked third shift. I took that shift because I went to Votech to learn how to run a printing press, because my goal was to go to Bethel and be a pressman. Now, I did not get accepted to Bethel, but I stayed in that field, and I've been working in printing since 1995. I enjoy it. I love it. I'm very good at my job. But in most printing shops, you either have option of second or third, because day shift takes decades to get on day shift in most places that I worked at. I couldn't work second shift because of meetings, so I had to work third. And for years, I would have trouble sleeping. The worst was always Tuesday. So I would get home from work about 7:30 on a Tuesday. I would always, cook breakfast for the kids or the wife, and I would study for the meeting. I'd do my Bible reading on Tuesday morning. I would prepare for my talks. I would do the personal study, and then I would go to bed, usually around 9, 10 o'clock on Tuesday. And there'd be so many times on a Tuesday that I could not fall asleep. I could not sleep. I'd be wide awake, wired. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. There'd be a lot of Tuesday night meetings that if I didn't have a part, nothing was going on, I would just not go to the meeting because I couldn't sleep, and I would go to work. But then on the other hand, if I had a talk or an assignment, I would call off work Tuesday night because I did not sleep at all. And that probably happened 5 or 6 times a year, that I would call off on a Tuesday night because of not sleeping. But it wasn't just Tuesday. Tuesday was worse than any day of the week. It was because of the stress and the pressure of the meetings. It was every day. There'd be so many days where I'd get home from work, tired, fall asleep for an hour, then wake up and just lie in bed for hours and hours and hours. Now, the whole time this was happening, I thought it was because it was just third shift, or I had a mental issue or sleep problem. And I go to my doctor and he'd give me some things, and it might help for a little bit, but not a lot. But when I woke up in 2016, within a week, I stopped having trouble sleeping. And I was still on third shift. I slept fine every day. I would sleep 6, 7 hours straight through. So what happened before when I was a Jehovah's Witness, that I would go 2 or 3 days sleeping 2 or 3 hours, and that's it. And then I would crash. I would have a makeup day where I'd sleep 8, 10 hours. And those makeup days always coincide with me taking the group out in field service on a Wednesday, not showing up for that, or missing Saturday service. That would just crash. Once I had an elders meeting Saturday afternoon, I went out in service, got home, and fell asleep on the couch, and my wife could not wake me up. This would happen on Sunday meetings sometimes if I had to work a Saturday night. She could not get me up. I was out. I missed dinner appointments with witnesses because I was dead to the world. And again, I thought this was because of me, but it was because of the religion, because of the pressure, because of the fear, because of the guilt that I could not sleep. My sleep has been the best in my entire life the last 2.5 years. I now work second shift because I can, but even the 1.5 years after I left that I was working third shift, I never had any problems. I stopped falling asleep at work, standing up, and I actually felt good with life. Because there'd be so many times where I'd visit her family or visit other people, I'd be tired and falling asleep on the couch, be really a bum. So these are just 5 of the reasons why my life is better now than as non-Jehovah's Witness than it was when I was a Jehovah's Witness. Yes, they do not have the best life ever. Next Saturday, I will make another video for 5 more things why my life is better now than it was before as a Jehovah's Witness. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. I'll keep trying to make 1 or 2 videos a week, I still work full time, but I have enough time to do these things. And anything I can do to help you, I'll be here for you. So have a great day. Thank you again, and goodbye.